Today, we're looking back at Necessary Roughness. We'll talk about Rob Schneider's best ever performance, where Scott Bakula's Canadian tuxedo ranks on the all-time list, and the power of halftime speeches. This is Movie Life Crisis. Stick around. Welcome to Movie Life Crisis. Join us as we watch the best movies from 30 years ago.
This year, the Texas State Armadillos are a little short on talent, but the Armadillos are taking it one game at a time.
What we need to do is get crazy. We need to get wild. We need to. Hey, little doggy, you about to get fixed.
Necessary Roughness.
I've been waiting for you.
You should be waiting for the guy to cut your hair.
Yeah, all right, Necessary Roughness. Episode 5, episode 105. We don't know the numbering system yet. Man, that trailer really just tells you everything you need to know about the movie, doesn't it?
All about. Is it only starring Sinbad? Because he was the only one that had any jokes in there.
Sinbad got a lot of run on that trailer. The trailer, again, like Robin Hood, was like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and I edited it down to 45 seconds, but all I was left with was Sinbad. He was the only one who, closed it.
Yeah.
Welcome back to us, to you. You got displaced for Hurricane Ida, so you've been out of your house, and now you're back. Hopefully power stays on until we get the episode.
Finally, yes. We've been all day today, so I'm good. I got power. Still boil water advisory, but we're good.
Cool. Well, I know your air conditioning is off while we record, so you probably can boil the water without even turning on the stove.
I have some just pooling right in the middle of my back right now.
No amount of boiling will make that water potable.
No.
Let's see. Other housekeeping stuff. We just released the episode 3, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. And Keith Coogan, who plays Kenny in the movie, liked one of the posts, and so now I feel bad that we made a bunch of jokes about his 5-head.
We didn't make that many jokes. I listened to it on the way back.
You made one, but I laughed, and I felt bad about that.
No, I think he's going to like it, because we liked him. He was one of my favorite characters.
He's not going to listen to this, but still, I was like, oh, that's a person. I was making cracks about his career being over. Now he's a real person on Instagram liking stuff. I feel like a jerk.
Now he's a real person with 1 degree of separation from you.
That's the good side of the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I want to give a shout out to Roger, our very first monthly supporter on buymeacoffee.com. That's awesome. What's up, dude? Appreciate that. I also got a couple comments for people wanting to know what the magic is behind picking the movies. So I thought we could talk about that for a little bit. Jeff, how are you picking the movies?
We looked at all the movies, and then I just picked my favorite ones that I wanted to talk about. I don't want to rewatch movies that I didn't like, and some of the movies that are, like the really, really famous movies that I've seen a lot and everybody's seen a lot, I don't want to do those as much either. I just like the fun ones, the ones I like the one today.
Yeah, totally. And that's the thing. There's not a ton of science to this. We literally just made a list of movies from 1991 because it's 30 years later, and then movies that we both had on our list. We just said, let's do those. Like movies that when we looked at I looked at the top 200 domestic box office for 91, and every movie that when I read on the list, I went, ooh, I wrote that one down.
Right.
And then whichever ones of those you went oh yeah, me too, those are the ones we're doing.
Right. And it was good. Good list.
Yeah, totally. And we skipped the 2 of the 3 biggest movies of 91. We skipped Terminator 2 and we skipped Home Alone. And at Home Alone, it's neither of us care that much about talking about that. And Terminator 2, I actually really would like to talk about. I think it's arguably the best action movie ever made. But we had other stuff we wanted to do more. So that's in the maybe pile if we get through the stuff we really like.
Well, we might actually get there. Barring no more Idas and stuff like that, we'll get there.
Yeah, and depending on how I'm able to record, once I have a newborn in the house.
Oh yeah. Oof.
TBD. Not to get super off track, but if you're having a baby, I find people can't wait to tell you how hard it is to have a baby. It's dude, do you think that that's news to me? Do you think anyone goes into getting pregnant in their 40s and thinks like, this is going to be an absolute breeze. Like, why is everyone trying to tell me how hard it is?
No, this is the thing. You have plenty of knowledge and money, but not enough energy. And then if you had it when you were young, you'll have plenty of energy, but not enough knowledge and money. So I think you did it the right way, personally. But I also I'm 43 and have a 3-year-old, so, I know what you're...
I mean, dude, my plan is like, let's just throw money at not at the kid because it can't do anything with it, but at the caregivers. Like, here, just take my wallet and give me back whatever you think is fair, just so I can get 2 hours of sleep.
This is the thing, though. You can only do that for so long, and then she or he is going to get a job where people throw money at it, and that's what you don't want.
Yeah, it is a he. We definitely already know that. And hey, man, however he wants to make a living, if he can make a living by having people throw money at him, that's great.
Depends on what he's wearing. I don't know if his mom will like that.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing. She'll never listen to this podcast, so we don't even have to. I was going to tell Marvin when we bring in our guest, Marvin, this is a wife-free zone. My wife has not listened. You told me that your wife listened, but you told me she listened while you two were driving together, so I don't think that counts.
It totally counts, and she's like, I'm going back and listening to the other ones as soon as... She was doing yard work. I don't know what she was listening to today. She might have been listening to it.
All right, that's awesome. Hey, Kat, what's up? I was actually excited that our wives were never going to listen. We were going to make this a wife-free zone because,
right.
Like, I knew Wendy was not going to listen. She was telling people that we're doing a good job, and I was like, but you haven't listened. She's like, well, I walked by one time when you were editing it, and it sounded really good.
Kat was pleasantly surprised at how funny it was.
Nice. And no one thinks that we're less funny than our wives who hear it all the time, so that's good news.
Yeah, it is.
Regardless, let's get to this movie and let's get to the really fun part. For tonight, we have our very first guest, Texas native, football fanatic, the writer, director, producer, star of a number of short films, burgeoning YouTube cooking sensation, fresh off his appearance on Bravo's Top Chef Amateurs, Marvin Salah.
Thank you. I have. Oh wow! I have never felt so good about myself. Even my mom never made me feel like this loved. By the way, real quick, in honor of Texas football and the only place where you, even in 1991, could have an open beverage in a gun rack.
Yeah, crack one, man. Pour a little bit out for the Armadillos. Gone too soon. Texas State. Jeff, get us into it. Give us a synopsis.
All right, quick synopsis. All right, so Paul Blake, played by...
Scott Bakula.
From Quantum Leap. I was trying to think of Quantum Leap. He plays a star QB in the realm of Ed Bundy, scored 4 touchdowns in one game at Polk High type of guy. Except he doesn't sell shoes. He took over his family farm when his dad died. TSU, which is Texas State University, their football team program is in the dumper because they had a recent scandal and corruption. And even though he's 34, Scott Bakula is going to be eligible to play as a quarterback if he enrolls as a freshman. So they only have 17 academically eligible players, and they're going to bring back Iron Man football. And just like my old chemistry teacher, that means they have to go both ways and save the fighting armadillos of Texas State.
Nice. Yes, exactly. This crappy fake school that turned out to be a real school later on is trying to reboot the football team after the Southern Methodist thing gets them nuked, basically. Yeah, and Scott Bakula is going to come back from the ranch and save everyone.
Sure is.
$13.5 million budget, $26 million domestic gross, so a real rocket ship. And I don't want to skip over the international gross, which was $0. This one did not play well across the pond.
Double your money, though. Come on. I take that every time.
And set back international people caring about American football for centuries.
Awards, nothing.
No, nothing.
Sequels, spinoffs, nothing. There was a TV series called Necessary Roughness that had three seasons in 2011, but absolutely no relation except for the name.
But you know what, I'll tell you, I started thinking Blue Chips, the replacements, both of those are identical to this to me.
Yeah.
Like I put them in the same scandals and sports and that whole thing. The replacements more than Blue Chips.
I looked up the release date for Blue Chips because I already can't wait to do that podcast. So
yeah, it's a couple,
that one.
Yeah, it's a couple of years away.
Marv, do you remember where you saw this movie for the first time?
No, I don't. I remember watching it a ton of times at my dad's apartment. I remember watching it early on in college. I was 13 when it came out, but I don't really remember where I saw it first now.
I don't either. I remember, same as you, I remember seeing it a bunch. When I watched it, I couldn't believe how much of it I remembered, but I have no clear memory of like the first viewing.
I thought it was going to be one of Will's birthday parties. Like, remember we all went to the movies for Will's birthday party back then? I thought it was one of those. I asked him, though, and he's like, I don't know. It was Pauly Shore's in the Army now. So,
what was your memories like how long has it been since either of you have seen this movie?
Oh, man. 15 years.
Yeah, I was going to say 10 years.
Okay. Same here. I'm going to even say probably 20. Like, what was your feeling, your memory of, like, what you thought of it?
I thought I remember it being cheesy but funny, and then I watched it and I was like, oh, this is cheesy and funny, and I liked it. I liked it way more than I thought I would.
I was so happy watching this movie. It was so stupid, and the whole thing made me so... Like, I have it in the categories when we get into the best, but like the freaking Adidas shoes and like the mesh jerseys where the mesh was real big and the neck rolls and like I was having so much fun watching this movie.
I love every single cliche that was in there, and I know that's what the part that everybody hates, but I really liked it.
Dude, Mark, were you getting mad when you were watching this, or were you enjoying it?
So I watched it twice. The first time I watched it, pretty drunk with a friend who was in town. And then I realized, like, I had to watch it again to be able to, like, have a better, be able to pull, And no, I'm really, it's not, I think it's trash a little bit. So I'm going to be a good counterpoint.
It totally is.
It absolutely is.
No,
I just had so
super
much
garbage.
Fun.
Yes, but it's, dude, I liked it. Because I don't know if it's nostalgia or it's just the ridiculousness of the whole thing. I really like it. I'm going to watch it again with my kid.
And explain why only white people play football in Texas.
Except for Stonehands.
I remembered liking it. I remember, like, when I was a kid that I liked it, and I remember that when I was, like, a stoned college student, I liked it. But, I mean, rewatching this again just confirmed that kids don't know shit, and when you're stoned in college, you'll enjoy anything.
Kids are absolutely dumb. Let's do categories because we'll do the best and then we'll do the worst. So generally, I've also had questions about the categories, but we're doing like our top 3 best scenes, best quotes, best characters, any high points, and then we'll get into our worst scenes, quotes, worst points. A lot of episodes we'll put in a time capsule, like something we want to tell you about a thing from this movie that we no longer is in existence, like ATMs and why people smoke and movies and stuff like that. We're not going to do a time capsule because we have Marvin. We're just going to talk to him. And then we'll finish up with like the Troy McClure cameos and then our 5 questions. But for the best, we'll do start off with the best 3 scenes. My first scene was the first game. It was terrible. The football action sequences were terrible. The stadium was terrible, and I just loved it.
I also had the first game because just when he takes him out for doing the wrong play, and Popke's in there and he's yelling, "Blow the whistle!" Like, just the whole thing. It was just wonderful. It was really bad.
Blow the whistle. That's a great quote. This offense is like the Tecmo Bowl offense. It's like they have pass right and run left and pass left, and then that's it. I don't know why he has a 3-inch binder with the playbook when that's literally pass right, run left.
Yes.
One of my favorite things that just goes to, by the way, I did a little research into like the background. I'm convinced that the director, Stan Dragati, and the actors, no one in that whole movie has ever played football. There's even a moment where like they tell Featherstone to run a fly and he runs a post.
Dude, they had in the dialogue is like Featherstone fly pattern, and then you see him running like an out and up or like a post where he like jukes to the sideline and then cuts in. I was like, not even a fly. The simplest football route that there is. Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't think there was a football expert on set. I will also say that I noticed that this director never directed a feature film again, and I don't think that's a coincidence.
But he did do Mr. Mom before this.
He did Mr. Mom, which is great.
He did. But I love that, like, he did Mr. Mom, The Man with One Red Shoe.
Man with One Red Shoe, yeah.
And She's Out of Control. And they're like, oh, no, you're ready to make a movie about Texas football. What could go wrong? We're going to cast Scott Bakula and Sinbad.
And guess what? He's never going to message you on Instagram because he's dead.
Dude, I'm so glad. I can really fire on him and feel good about it. Yeah, I can digitally urinate all over his grave and be fine.
Jesus. Oh, man.
Jeff, what's another favorite scene of yours?
All right, second one for me I wrote was when the penitentiary team comes to play him, and I just like that because I know all those guys, and I was like, hey, I know that guy.
It's my number one. It's like so amazingly highly illegal that like that was organized and so awesome.
Oh, dude, that was like it was like a 90-second, like the longest yard, like little sequence that had no bearing on the rest of the movie, and everyone who got off of the bus was like a famous. Like I got the list of people. So this like prison gang is Dick Butkus, Earl Campbell, Roger Craig, Tony Dorsett, Jerry Rice, Jim Kelly, Herschel Walker, and Evander Holyfield. And
Randy White and Tudor Jones. They had four cowboys. So
when Evander Holyfield says, I don't feel so good, I think I swallowed a finger. I was like, he doesn't even know somebody's going to bite his ear off. This is awesome.
He still has all of his ears at this point in time. Yeah, that was so weird and so awesome. I don't know why.
And Jim Kelly playing defense, yelling at from the linebacker spot. Yeah, ridiculous. But I liked it, and that was my second. What's your second?
My second one was the bar fight. I think it made my best and worst scenes, but it's so corny. Like the like nemesis from the other team, who's like a linebacker. He's not even another quarterback. He has a head that's like perfectly cube shaped, and he's wearing a shirt that's like the Texas flag. And I don't know, but this here's my throwing hand. Like I just remember that as a kid.
I definitely remember that. I was like, you had to insult my center. And I was like, oh God, it's all coming back to me. This is awesome.
And then the samurai guys, like jump kicking people, and then the police show up and everyone's like shooting pool and high fiving. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's very stupid and awesome at the same time.
Yeah, those are two great ones. I also can we give a shout out? Obviously it's a scene that's epiphany. It's not the epiphany, but it's like the moving moment where they win or they tie that last game or win that last game, which is also in their final game of the season was the first time they successfully completed a pass all season long.
Nice.
Yeah, shout out. Do you think Rob Schneider was keeping stats as he was announcing, or did they just not even have a stat guy?
Rob Schneider was a freaking highlight for me. I hate that dude. Like every movie he's ever been in, I was like, this guy sucks. And the whole time I was like, he's got all my favorite lines in this movie.
18-year-old Rob Schneider is the announcer, and it's by far, for me, the highlight of Rob Schneider's career, bar none.
Yes, for real.
It's all downhill from there, as far as I'm concerned.
But honestly, though, when somebody fumbles the ball, do you not yell fumble-aya, fumble-risky? Because I scream it at the TV.
I had to go look to make sure that he hadn't taken that from someone, because I was like, surely this is not the genesis of fumble-aya, fumble-risky.
Is that not something from Saturday Night Live? I don't know. I don't watch that either.
Wait, did this come before he was on Saturday Night Live?
Well, he's 18 when this movie comes out, so I feel like it must have.
So he turned that into the Office copy man.
And then he made friends with Adam Sandler, and that's the only reason why he's able to keep his lights on.
I think you're forgetting Deuce Bigalow, male gigolo.
I'm trying to forget Deuce Bigalow, male gigolo. Sorry, Rob, you're still alive and you're on Instagram. My last favorite scene is the last game is my last favorite scene.
Yeah.
Mine too. I also had that, and with the Mr. Blake, he'll never touch you. That whole thing, and then when he blocks the guy and breaks his face mask off.
Yeah, breaks his face mask off. That was classic. I remembered that, and I wasn't sure if it was going to happen. And I was like, wait, I thought this is where he blindsides him, and the guy's whole face explodes.
Yeah, I thought I was dreaming that until it happened. Also.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he killed Flat Top. It seems that way, at least.
When the climax of the movie is an offensive lineman making a block, that is worth recognizing.
Yeah, they made the 2-point conversion.
And the cool thing is, because the football was so real, my wife was like, I thought there's no time. Why are they? I was like, well, no, they get the 2-point conversion. It doesn't take any time. So, she learned something about football from this movie, which is essentially an educational film.
We learned something because while we were not quarantined, but stuck in that stupid hotel room, and I made everybody watch it, Jake Malik was wondering how they had so much time to stand in the huddle and talk. The whole time he was quantum leaping, just like, you're going to feel no pain when you get in that end zone. If all we had, like, all that whole thing, he was like, do you feel like you're talking a long time? I was like, yeah, they are.
It's easy, though, when calling the plays, you literally go, okay, guys, pass block, and then you go fly pattern, cross, cross. So you save a lot of that time.
All right, do it. So what's your third one, Marvin?
Well, I mean, I think I agree with everything we've said. I think number one is certainly the penitentiary scrimmage, the convict scrimmage. By the way, that's also the first time we get to see black football players because, of course, they're prisoners and convicts. Go Texas!
Yeah, that's the way to go, Texas.
That's not racist.
Way to cast.
That's not racist. Anyways, and then the bar scene, the bar fight scene is probably tied with that and the final game are great. I still think Robert Loggia's like halftime speech is Oscar worthy for me. Like, I'm not on the same page with you guys, I know, in terms of the reasons I enjoy this movie, but that movie for me, like the things I loved most were Robert Loggia and Manu.
Yeah, those are definitely high points. The next part is quotes, and my number one quote, kind of by far, because there's not a ton of great ones in this movie, is the Robert Loggia halftime speech, which I edited, and I will play for you guys right now.
You play football like Engineero played football. He was a 140-pound halfback, and he played like a goddamn wild man. No, like a goddamn rampaging beast. And that's the way you gotta do it. You go out there, you tear their fucking heads off, and you shit down their necks. Let us pray.
I'm going to listen to that every time I make love to my wife from now on.
You tear their heads off and you shut down their necks. Let's pray.
By the way, if you look at that closely, I'm pretty sure at least half, if not more, of that speech was done in ADR and post because his mouth is not doing all those things.
I like what they did with it then because they killed it. It was awesome.
Yeah, no, it's great.
You could tell that speech was the beneficiary of heavy punch-up work because it was by far the best moment in the whole movie. I only played half of it because I only want to beep so many curse words out in post. But it's even longer and even more inspiring. And dude, there's very few things I like more than a locker room speech in a football movie. Like, those inches that we need are all around us. Like, it get me super hyped.
Well, I also liked when he yelled, "Don't throw it to Stonehands," because every time I'm watching, like, Saints football and they're going to throw it to the worst guy, I yell, "Don't throw it to Stonehands."
For 30 years, people have been yelling at football games, "Don't throw it to Stonehands." No one even knows why anymore.
I know why.
I hadn't even considered that. That's amazing.
That's your first one? That's your number one?
No. I love that. I think my favorite joke line was, "Why don't you go bang a kangaroo?" I mean, that's genius writing right there.
Yeah, the one guy on the Texas football team is from Australia, and so they threw clever lines at his character like that. Jeff, hit us with a quote.
My number one, and it's only because I still say it constantly, is too bad he only had 8 men to beat. Like, every time I'm watching football and the guy gets tackled, I say that, and people are sick of saying it. But this is the other thing, too. Because Rob Scheider, like when they blocked the punt in the first game, and he's like, "Oh, not much of a hang time. They may have gotten a piece of that one." Like, I was like, this is amazing. I want this guy to do the real games.
It was like a supercharged, like Bob Uecker from Major League.
Yes.
Like, it was the exact same thing, which is beautiful. Perfect sports movie trope. The other one that I had was, how many timeouts do we have? Can we take them all now?
Yeah.
Can we take them all now?
I still appreciate that. Because when I play pickup basketball, I use that line all the time. How many timeouts do we have? Let's use them all.
I like Andre doesn't eat meat.
That's another vegetarian thing. I had the same problem with Doc Hollywood. I was like, is vegetarianism that big of a deal in 1991?
What other quotes you got, Jeff?
My other quote that I had in the top 3 is, it's after the bar fight, and the sheriff is like hitting him and poking him in the chest, and then the coach turns and goes, "It hurts when they poke you in the chest like that, doesn't it?" And I don't know why, but when people poke me in the chest or poke somebody else in the chest, I still say it. It's weird, but I'm only picking the ones that I still say, and I don't know why.
Dude, the fact that there's any quotes from this movie that you're still saying is amazing.
When he gives him the playbook, and he goes, "I'll cherish it forever. I'm not bequeathing it to you. I'm just loaning it to you." Like, I do that too still.
I feel like like I would have enjoyed this movie way more if I'd watched it with you, Jeff.
I was cackling. Everybody else was in the room was like, what the hell is going on? I'm telling you, the whole Rob Schneider thing, every time he would talk, like I wrote one down where he says, going 96 yards in the opening kickoff might have given the Colts false sense of confidence going into the second minute of play. I'm like, come on, that's genius. Or like, we're only 3 touchdowns from taking the lead. Like, stuff like that, that's just throwaway lines. I love.
Characters?
Wait. One more thing I want to talk about for a quote. When they started yelling double wing, and everybody starts saying, double wing, double, and then the whole defense shifts out of the way.
And then Schneider's like, hey, paying a lot of respect to the motion, man. You gave me shit for City Slickers for having a lot of quotes. You just had like 9 quotes from Necessary Roughness.
Yeah, but they were all Rob Schneider. Shut up.
I also really actually liked, I liked, what's his name? Hector Elizondo, the coach.
Hector
I really like that scene where Scott Bakula shows up and he's like, I sure hope he gets younger as he gets closer. Like, that's just a funny line. I was like, that's good.
It's a good line. That guy's a good actor.
I felt like the writers of this movie just shoehorned a bunch of jokes in there, but they didn't have time to figure out if any of them were going to work, and then a lot of them didn't.
Okay, here's a question about the process, JT. I know you like writing, and Jeff, you clearly like comedy and one-liners. Do you think, chicken or egg question, what do you think came first? Did they were like, we're going to name the coach Ed Gennaro, and they were like, holy, we could just rhyme Gennaro with straight arrow? Or do you think they were like, what can we rhyme with straight arrow? And they were like, Gennaro.
I wonder if they wrote the whole thing about the problems that the team were having first, and they needed somebody to be the straight arrow, and then they came up with the name Gennaro. That's what I'm thinking.
Questions will never, if we can ever perfect time travel, on the first list that I will look for is to go back and talk to those screenwriters.
Oh, man. That's not what I'm using it on. But, yeah, I'll ride with you.
This is great. I like that we're tackling the big issues here. Best characters for me, I have like an obvious bias. I love Larry Miller.
God, he's awesome. I forgot. I watched 10 Things I Hate About You after this movie just because I forgot how much I like Larry Miller.
The guy, the dean. Larry Miller.
Oh, yeah.
He's so good. I went through his IMDb page because I was like, I feel like I've seen him play a dean a lot. He has 5 deans on his IMDb page, and he has 4 high school principals.
He's good at that. I'm a douche kind of thing.
He's so good at it, and he was like, he was not going for subtlety here. He was absolutely chewing scenery, but he freaking cracked me up.
He was one of mine also.
Marv, favorite character?
Robert Loggia. I love Manu a lot. And he really goes for it. He knows that this might be his one day in the sun. Like when Kathy Ireland kisses him in that last moment, and he does his like feigning. That's like advanced acting exercises right there. He's so good.
Big Manu the Splinter.
But Robert Loggia, if I have to choose one.
Yeah, I have Manu Mana on my list. Robert Loggia, honorary mention, but I do love that guy.
I didn't put him on my list, but I also really like that guy. My next guy, I don't want to put Rob Schneider on my list because I already talked about him so much, and it makes me sound like we're dating. So I went with Dwayne Davis just because I remembered him from Beetlejuice playing a football player, where he says, "Coach, I don't think we survived that crash." And I was like, oh my goodness. So Featherstone is in Beetlejuice playing a football player, and also he plays a football player in the program.
And they say typecasting doesn't exist.
That's what happens when you're the only black guy in Texas playing football.
This cast list is so deep because I wrote down like 11 cast members and he wasn't even on the list.
Oh, man.
Latimer from the program is also in this movie. Like he barely even registers.
Barely does anything.
Meathead that barely does anything.
Yes.
I had Peter Tiasasopu, who's Manu Mana, just because that was that was the first time I ever saw a Samoan play a Samoan in a movie. And like that guy actually was an NFL player. He played 3 games during the 87 strike season.
Ooh, nice.
Wow, deep dive. I like that.
And then, dude, he's still in movies. I saw him in an episode of New Girl on Netflix like 2 days ago. Which, came out 4 years ago, but still working, still doing
That's
stuff.
Awesome.
He played E. Honda in the Street Fighter movie, where Latimer was also in there. I know Latimer is the character's name, but he will always be Latimer to me. His name's Andrew Brynjarski, but he will always be Latimer from the program.
Yes, he wasn't on my list either, though. I don't like putting, like, Scott Bakula or... I mean, he wouldn't have made the cut either. But like Sinbad, I love Sinbad's comedy because he is super cheesy, super ridiculous. But I don't want to put him down. And I feel bad, but Jason Bateman was my third. His style of delivery is fantastic.
He's great. He just doesn't do much in the film, you know. And they didn't realize like the diamonds they had in their pocket at that point. For me, Scott Bakula, this whole movie made me think like maybe he's not a very good actor, and I didn't know that.
I have him as like a B+ actor in this movie. Like he's not asked to do too much, which is good because he's not able to do too much. But he's perfectly serviceable as like generic, like skinny white guy in his mid-30s.
But what about Quantum Leap, where he plays all of these different characters? He jumps into an older black lady, and he has to play that part.
He's good in that, but like I never really, he's not good in this. Like if you find like a regular leading man type, they're going to be much better in that role than Scott Bakula. By the way, 34, please.
I mean, he's 36 at the time. These are 90s miles, so it was a little rougher back then. 40 was like you start playing like elderly people.
By the way, he had wicked short hair when he went to go try out for the part, and they said, "Hey, we need you to have longer hair. Can you grow it out?" He's like, "Yeah." "Okay, here, put this hairpiece on." And he had like this hairpiece that clipped to the back of his hair that made it come down his shoulders, and that's how he tried out for the part. And then they made him go throw footballs in the like Paramount parking lot for like 3 hours. He said, "I knew I really wanted to do this movie. It was kind of fun." And then they said, "No, it's all right. We don't really need you." And they tried to get somebody else, and then the other person said, "I'm not doing that movie. Go have sex with a kangaroo. I'm out." And then they came back to Scott Bakula, and he was like, "I'm going to make him pay." And I don't know how much he made, but
not much because the budget was $13.5 million.
Right.
Yeah, that's why you got Scott Bakula and not like an actual action star from the 90s because they did the movie for $13 million.
Right. Jason Bateman's probably worth more than that now.
Dude, I can't believe how long Jason Bateman's been around. He was on Little House on the Prairie when he was 10, and he's not stopped working since. Anything else for best?
I got nothing. No more best. No, I'm good.
So the only thing else that I want to mention is the cast. This cast list is so deep, and they were almost all way underutilized. But like we got Sinbad, who I love, and also this is the first time this ever occurred to me. I feel like Neil deGrasse Tyson like really liked Sinbad's style.
Yes.
Rob Schneider, 18 years old, bright spot in the movie, bright spot in his career. Robert Loggia, who's great. Hector Elizondo, Harley Jane Kozak, Jason Bateman, Fred Thompson. Oh, Fred Thompson, the school chairman, the school president, actually was a Tennessee senator who won an election after Al Gore left to become vice president.
I saw that.
Oh, wow.
I read about that.
Which is pretty awesome. Andrew Brynjarski Lattimore from the program. The people we already talked about, Peter Tiasosopo, Larry Miller, Scott Bakula. There's like 15 people on this cast list that I was like, oh, I know that guy. Oh, I know that guy. I didn't even get to the Beetlejuice guy.
I would say one of my favorite things about watching this movie is every time like a very great supporting, like a great actor came on screen, where you're like, oh my God, that person's in this movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie for that.
That and all the pop culture references that no longer have any meaning were like my favorite things. Like the Norman Schwarzkopf, like he's going to matter in 30 years. Like, no one knows who that guy is.
Wait, because all of us are from the South and the same age, did anyone else catch the 10K sports drink?
Oh my God, that's the only notable cameo that I had was the 10K sports drink sign.
Did you guys have 10K in Texas, Marv?
I don't know what that is.
It was like a Gatorade Powerade like sports drink that was around when we were kids, and it's in this movie.
It's made by Kentwood, like the Kentwood water people.
So like Jeff and I had it a lot when we were a kid, and then it got bought by some like Japanese beverage company, and now it doesn't exist. But when it's like 10K thirst quencher, I found a commercial for it on YouTube that I will put in the show notes because everyone should know about this.
That's the only notable cameo I put down.
But yeah, I was like, oh my God, 10K. Also on the best, I have Scott Bakula's Canadian Tuxedo. I just want to take a moment because the whole movie, denim on denim. A couple times he went denim on denim on denim.
On
like
denim
jean shirt,
yeah.
jean jacket.
Yeah, it's like straight Marlboro Man.
That's solid. I'm a fan of that, and I'm glad that they went. Because we got to know that he's from Texas and he's not messing around. So it's Canadian Tuxedo. If he's not wearing a football outfit, Canadian Tuxedo.
Is this not the calculator watch all over again? Or the glasses to show that they're a nerd? This is to show that he's tough.
But I loved it because I love a Canadian Tuxedo.
While we're also, before we move on from like the cast, but I also want to let you guys know that I hung out with Sinbad once.
What?
Oh, dude, talk to us about that because Jeff and I love Sinbad.
I really like Sinbad.
I didn't love Sinbad at all. And then I was dating a girl, so she was working like in post, like was the main producer on Super Nanny, and they were shooting in Hawaii, and she asked me, she just had me go with her for so she had a free suite in Hawaii, so I went for a week, and like Super Nanny and Sinbad had a relationship. I don't know what the nature of it was, but they were close. They were he was doing a show out there, and so like every night, like we would hang out with her and Sinbad and like 4 other people, so it was like 6 of us. And, like, I got to hang out with Sinbad, like, 3 nights in a row. We would go to the club, we'd party. He doesn't drink. I drank a lot. And we kind of, like, he liked me. I liked him. And I was like, shit, I really like Sinbad. And we had a great time. And then, I never saw him again.
So do you still hate his comedy?
I don't watch his comedy, actually. I'd rather not be confronted with that.
Yeah, don't ruin it.
He had an HBO comedy special that came out in the mid-'90s that Jeff and I had on VHS that we absolutely memorized, and it cannot be found. It doesn't exist in 2021, and I've looked so hard for it because I want
Son of a Preacher Man.
Son of a Preacher Man. And when my wife and I were dating, we were like listening to comedy, we were talking about stand-ups, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, I love Sinbad, and she laughed like that was the joke, and I was like, oh, I'm not joking. I'm like, I'm going to find the VHS tapes from Son of a Preacher Man, and it is going to kill you, or we will never speak again.
Every person I tell, I'm like, yeah, Sinbad, he's hysterical. They're like, Sinbad, the big, tall black guy?
I was never a fan of any of his stuff, but I tell you, in person, he was actually really cool, funny, and really nice.
That's awesome.
That's sweet.
I think his movies did not do his comedy justice because his movies are terrible and his comedy is actually pretty great. Well, he came out with some stuff the last couple of years that was less great, but
I still like it. I like his style. That's just me.
Dude, he just cracks me up, man. Even in this movie, when he was saying super corny stuff, he was cracking me up. Party.
Super corny.
Yeah, and he's like wearing like big, like baggy pleated pants, and he's got like a hoop earring. Like it cracked me up. He had like flat top.
The way he taught physics or whatever he was teaching, astrophysics, where it was like, and you go want to be somewhere else. Let me tell you. I was like, I want to learn stars from him.
Yeah.
If he was on the Khan Academy teaching astrophysics, I would get in that so fast. So he had one of his like stand-ups that came out a couple of years ago, and it was just like everybody always asks me, Sinbad, where you been? I said, working. Where you been?
He's been at the Grand Casino Biloxi, raking it in.
I still also just love that he and Super Nanny had like some sort of like bond.
Critical reception for this movie, 33% Rotten Tomatoes, 6.2 on IMDb. I think we're in the right ballpark. This is not a well-reviewed movie, nor should it be.
But does it have to be really good for you to like it? Like on Rotten Tomatoes? Does it have to?
No, I don't care about that at all.
Like how many bad Rotten Tomatoes movies do you watch?
Oh, tons.
But that's what I don't understand. I don't know. Again, you know how I roll. Like, if all these people want to get together, act out a movie for my enjoyment, at least I can give them 2 hours of my time and smile and chuckle at some of the jokes.
But this is why I wanted to talk to Marvin, because he lives in LA and like has done a bunch of like shorts that he wrote and directed and produced and starred in. And so he talks to a bunch of people who care about movies and are movie nerds, where you and I are just like, did I enjoy those 2 hours and did I get my fingers all greasy from popcorn? If so, money well spent.
Yeah, exactly.
So I love bad movies that are good. Like Showgirls is one of the greatest pieces of cinema of all time.
Yeah.
But this is not that to me. Like
It's not quite bad enough?
No, it's not bad enough. There's too many lulls for me. It slows down too much. There's way too many other things happening besides football. And when they show football, the football is terrible. Literally, like, he doesn't complete a pass in the game until the final game, and it's like, really? Yeah, that was my main problem.
Marvin, where are you at on Waterworld?
Kevin,
I need to rewatch that, to be fair. I got to rewatch Waterworld.
I think Waterworld is unfairly maligned. I watched it like 5 years ago and actually really enjoyed it.
I agree with you. Like, I haven't watched it in 15 years. But when I watched it, I was like, oh, it's really good. And then like everyone was like, it's the worst movie ever made. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, maybe. I don't know.
What was the movie? What was the movie with John Travolta where he was like a Klingon?
Oh, was it Battlefield Earth?
Battlefield Earth. That's the one that everybody says really is the worst movie.
That is a very bad movie.
Let's talk about the worst of this movie. If we can find any worst. The worst 3 scenes I'll go first. One of my worst scenes was the first game, which was also on my favorite best scenes. But this is the one where he goes into the huddle and just calls a play and he just says pass blocking. And then he tells everyone what route to run. It's like,
No, it's straight up pass blocking.
Straight up pass
It
blocking.
is straight up pass blocking.
And then he just points at receivers and he goes like fly, cross, and then they snap and run the play. And I was like, what? And then when Hector Elizondo chews him out, he goes, I called a running play, not a pass. Like, do you guys have an offense? This is Tecmo Bowl. This is Tecmo Bowl football filmed for our enjoyment.
Run or pass.
He calls a fly in two ends, which, by the way, like no one's taking that second safety. I'm assuming they're running a cover two, right?
Yeah, I don't think Stonehands is going to get the seam he's looking for with that particular.
Yeah, but he's going to outrun everybody. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, he's got tons of time because he left eight guys in protection, so he's got tons of time.
Okay, but here's the thing: they build up how fast he is, and then in that final game, he gets caught from behind.
Boy, does he. I remember, for some reason, it's burned into my brain, like, how he's running when he gets caught. And I don't know why. Like, I could picture that shit right before it happened. It was so weird.
He went to the Tom Cruise running school where it's like actors who don't really know how to run, and they're just like, just throw your hands as hard as you can.
It looked like they were pulling him on a cart, and he was pretending to run like a Muppet or something. I don't know what was
my favorite actor running of all time is Steven Seagal because he runs with his hands like straight up like he's karate chopping. And when I was a little kid and I watched a lot of Steven Seagal movies, I thought, like, that's probably faster because of the wind resistance without the fists.
You're
so I
overthinking
was at recess, like, running to play dodgeball and whatever, like, doing the Steven Seagal karate chop hands.
You were overthinking that big time.
That's a true story that happened.
Seagal ain't thinking wind resistance, I can tell you.
Yeah, his giant belly didn't slow him down because he had the hands that he was chopping through the air.
Right. All right, so, Marvin, your first worst scene.
Worst scene? Is that where we're at? How about this? Not the worst scene I saw, but the worst thing they didn't do. It's 1991. It's the height of the genesis of, like, the montage. They have one montage that whole movie, and it was the opening credits. What a missed opportunity. And that's one of the things I can't forgive.
There was so this is, and I wouldn't consider it a montage either, and because JT loves training montages, especially like when Batman's like becoming Batman. They're fantastic. I
love them. It's my favorite thing about origin movies is a training montage. I know.
How do you not have one? How do you not have a training montage in 1991?
But the whole middle part of the season was kind of like a montage. They kind of like crammed it all together, and then Rob Schneider talked over it.
I think you're being generous, Jeff.
No, I'm saying I put that as my worst because I wanted it to be a true like montage. Like when they're like working out with the females doing jazzercise or whatever. And all that was crammed into the middle, and I was like, this could have been way better.
I was really, like, literally as I was taking notes the second time around, every, like, 5 notes was like, where's my goddamn montage?
Where's the montage?
I just love that your, like, directorial instincts were like, this is montage central here. I can't believe they're screwing this up so badly.
It's a football film, and montage is French. If anything knows about movies, it's the French.
Yeah, dude, I'm always in camp, like, bringing extra montages in movies. Nothing makes me happier.
I like a nice changing clothes, like trying on clothes montage with a nice pop song behind it, but that's just me. That's how I roll.
Also, when your award-winning writing like includes quips like "put a spick in the Buddha," maybe more montages and less words.
Yeah, the more dialogue you can take out, probably the stronger the film will be. Jeff, what's your worst scene?
Well, that was the first thing I wrote down. Is I wanted that to be a better thing for the whole season. But my second one but I didn't like that the teacher that he was trying to hook up with ended up actually being at the game where he threw the 5 touchdowns or scored the 5 touchdowns or whatever, and then she was in love with him and used to drive past his house. I don't know why I didn't like that, and I don't know if there's a reason.
Because it's super creepy.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like high school chicks, I'm sure, do that kind of stuff. Not now, they just stalk you on Facebook.
But so his love interest in this movie is his college professor, so automatically, no, can't do that. And then it comes out that even though she didn't know him when they met as adults, that she was obsessed with him in high school because he beat her boyfriend's team and she was driving past his house and calling him and hanging up. And then, so she's obsessed with him when they're in high school. She meets him at 36 and pretends that she doesn't know him. Then she gets into a relationship with him as his professor. The whole thing is terrible. It's
They're
awful.
2 consenting adults, and what they do in their own time is their own business.
can we also talk like literally the whole movie, like the romantic arc of that? So it's like if you're a college professor and you're going to the writers of this movie and you're like, all right, talk to me about this arc between these two people. It's like, okay, they meet, they fight, they make up, they kiss, they have sex. And like literally the writers just took that and that's all they did. There was nothing in between. They have only 5 scenes. The whole movie, there's only 5 scenes with the two of them together, and that's literally what happens. Hit them with a racquetball in the head. They go, and it's like literally bullet points.
Yeah.
I feel like this whole movie was assembled by writers using bullet points. Like they had like a checklist of like, we got to write a football movie, and it has to have a love interest, and the guy's got to be older so that we can cast someone in their 30s. And they just went down and checked boxes, and it's like, oh, we have to have a young like hot girl on the football team. Check. We got that done. Everyone has to have like a weird nickname about their one characteristic. So it's like we got samurai and we got the kangaroo guy.
Let's make the black guy fast.
We got the black guy's gonna be really fast. Like we got, and then there was some like Animal House stuff in here where it's like we need to have a bunch of characters and they're all gonna have like one weird defining quirk.
Agreed. Also, before we move on from their relationship, can I also say one thing I wrote down that I wish that it's too late for me now, married with a kid, but I wish that at one point in my life, a woman had woken up in bed naked, seen me on the edge of her bed, and I turned back to her and said, I never lost a football game in high school. God, how awesome would it be able to like have that moment?
Just say that. I think you should try it now that you're married. I don't think it makes a difference.
This guy, he really is out 4 touchdowns in one game, Bundy.
Yeah, he is. He totally is.
My other worst scene was the last game. Both of the first and the last games were on my best and worst scenes because they both were terrible and also awesome. But the last game specifically, the part that I hated was the ref that was like breaking down all the karate moves because it was such a weird choice for this movie. Like it's great for like Airplane or Naked Gun, like a parody movie, but this is not a parody movie, which makes it a completely befuddling choice.
But he did go just ape shit and give a Zensatsu elbow thrust to the quarterback and a roundhouse lunge kick to the running back. He did do all that, though, so aren't you supposed to call it?
I mean, why even do it? How many times does a guy have to karate kick people in a movie?
Before you just call him samurai.
If you could beat the hell out of like half the other team and only get a 15-yard penalty, wouldn't you like just do it all the time?
Just do it. Take the penalty.
Just take the penalty. It's just like the college pass interference rule. Just do it all the time. It's only 15 yards. Who cares? Spot of the foul.
Right.
That's true. This movie is actually all about not being properly punished for the poor choices you make. Maybe that's why it's called Necessary Roughness, because literally all the main characters do terrible things that are mostly illegal, and nothing bad really happens to them except for the dean.
I love that you pulled like a through line from this movie. I'm looking forward to your college course on this movie. I'm so excited for you to go like, here's how not to write a relationship. Step 1, watch this movie and then do all of the opposite.
Fillers. You got to have some fillers. More racquetball heads.
More training montages.
I got no more scenes, by the way, because all the rest of them were they're beautiful. I loved every single bit of it. It was a cinematic masterpiece.
Dude, I mean, this direction was weird. There were weird camera angles. There were weird zooms. Like, there was like a moment where like a camera was riding on top of a car for a reason I couldn't figure out.
It was the ambulance when he had angina, but he thought he was having a heart attack.
Yeah, he had angina. Dude, what is an ambulance? Why are you hitting that ambulance last syllable so hard?
Ambulance.
In the final game, they kept cutting to Kathy Ireland warming up like 4 times, 5 times in a minute. And I was just like, why?
She's only on the set for friggin' 2 days. We got to get all those legs in as many times as possible.
Marvin, in the film, in the literature world, we would call that foreshadowing, where we're trying to build to a moment that has yet.
I mean, so it was false foreshadowing. You're actually right. They were like, defying expectations.
It was a misdirect. They're going like, you think that she's going to win it, but really we're just going to show her kicking a lot, and then boom, 2-point conversion, and your mind is blown, and then we're all giving speeches at the Oscars.
You're right.
No, I mean, I don't know anything about direction. Like, I don't even know the names of camera angles, but the whole time I was going like, why did we just look at that way? That seemed really weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. And why is their locker room so dark? They could have lit that a whole lot better. I just didn't like it. I didn't like that.
I mean, they only have so much electricity. They're using $13 million here.
Right. Hey, one more thing before we get off of the ambulance part. Are the coaches living together? Like, why was he was like cooking making a salad. He was like, I didn't want to say he was tossing a salad, but he was tossing a salad, and then he goes to bring it to the table, and he's like, oh, you showed up just in time. I was lost. I thought that was another love interest, and it was going to be like a triangle.
It was another element shoehorned into this movie is like the buddy comedy, offense, defense.
You mean the big O and the little D?
The big O and the little D.
And then Robert Loggia, who's been coaching for 20 years, he hands him the playbook. He's like, I'm only defense. I can't do this. It's like, dude, the playbook is run right, run left. Like, you probably can handle
True
it.
story. Also, going back, Jeff, into your idea about them having a relationship, when Hector offers Robert his whistle that he's been using for 20 years, not even for a second does Robert reconsider, like, maybe getting his own whistle. Like, totally just immediately sticks it in his mouth.
Puts it right in his mouth right away. Of course.
And he goes, the big whistle.
But yeah, I'm going to just buy a new one.
I loved in the hospital when he handed him the playbook. Hector Elizondo hands Robert Loggia the playbook, and the playbook is like a 3-inch D-ring binder that just says football on the end.
Bullet points, man. What do you want from these writers? Jeez.
And we know their playbook is pass left, pass right. So I don't know what's in this binder. But
Left button B, left button right. I mean, left button A. Either one.
And then Robert Loggia is like, I'll treasure it forever. He's like, I'm not bequeathing it to you.
Oh, man. Every time I load a pen to a student, that's what I do. I don't have any more scenes. Marvin's got 20 more scenes. What else you got for the worst?
Can I just say the movie? Is that okay? No, that's not true. There are definitely moments in that movie that I love. Shoehorned in between terrible scenes.
I have Kathy Ireland. I have Kathy Ireland on my list of the worst, just because it's hard to play an athlete if you're not athletic, and she's just the kicker. But you can clearly tell that even like that action is too much for her.
But here's the thing, JT. Do you not want her in the movie?
I just want someone else in that role.
Who? In 1991.
I don't know. I was 11, but I mean, I feel sure there were other attractive women that we could have put there.
Stephanie Seymour. That's who I want.
Oh, yeah, that would have been great. Stephanie Seymour. That's the right call. Why weren't you casting when you were 11 years old?
I was way older.
But dude, this is one of the things I didn't like about Captain Marvel is like when Brie Larson ran, I was like, that's the first time she's ever run. How can this be a superhero?
She can fly too. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, the flying she was very believable at.
I don't have any bad characters. They're all either wicked awesome or wicked bad. Like Chris Berman, I put down for the bad, just because I was like, what is he doing?
Old tech in this movie, there's not a ton of old tech. I mean, one guy talks about the dean talks about his pager.
Pager. Yeah.
The professor's typing on a word processor. It's not even a computer. Yeah, like the kids are like looking at their class grades like posted on the wall, like on a cork board. I mean, but nothing like crazy.
Beeper's what I wrote down. That's the only thing I remember.
Yeah, Larry Miller's references pager at one point. And then the last thing I had on the worst, which really kind of is, other than the fact that no black people are in this football movie set in Texas, which is pretty bad. The other worst part is the relationship between the professor and the student, which is so weird all throughout the whole thing.
I don't know what your problem is. They're two consenting adults.
Two consenting adults, just because one is dude. But the weird thing is, like, up until about, I feel like 5 years ago, if it was a teacher-student and the teacher was female, everyone was like, who cares? It's fine.
Dreammaker.
But yeah, but like up until very recently, I feel like teacher-student relationship, if the teacher's a guy, it's like, we got to lock him up forever. And if it's a woman, it's like, hey, good for you, thumbs up.
By the way, as a teacher, not from personal experience, but knowing people, they don't lock you up. They just move you to a different school where there's fresh meat.
Like the Catholic Church, they just move you to a parish where there are fewer hot kids.
Yeah. Go to the place where there's the ugly kid.
So I completely agree. And all I want to say is maybe that was the movie they missed. Maybe instead of a movie about football with the backdrop of this like teacher-student relationship, it should have been a sexy like relationship romance with football as the backdrop.
Yes.
That would have been, I think, a much better movie, but it would also ask a lot more of Scott Bakula, which is maybe getting us into an area that we don't want to get into. The other political incorrectness was like the Kathy Ireland stuff. Like Jason Bateman like makes a comment about her at practice and then does like the hand gestures where he's making the outline. I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's like that might be the last time anyone ever did that. We have it on film.
Well, also, like everyone would have been fired from their jobs in this movie, but like the dean, the sexual misconduct and harassment he does to the teacher, he's like, hey, there's a lot of like men grabbing women by their like arms and waists.
Yeah, they've been telling us for years, but we just didn't listen. Hashtag me too.
That's why I think this movie had they tried to shoehorn Animal House into a football movie, and like they just couldn't figure out what parts to do.
Under political incorrectness, do you want to tell us what the worst gay slur was, or gay joke, or whatever it was?
Well, there were a few, Daisy, Sunshines, but the best one was we're like, you can't split up the twins. They're the only two that like each other without being questionable or whatever. Hold on.
Yes.
Without being suspect.
Yeah, suspect. That's
I remember that.
Yes, I remember that now.
There's a little casual early 90s homophobia.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Well, I mean, here we are 30 years later, and we have our first openly gay NFL player on an active roster. So things have not progressed all that well in the football world.
Not at least there's black people on his team, though, right?
Yes. All right. We don't have a time capsule, but Marvin, do you want to plug anything? Do you want to talk about what you're up to?
Yeah, man.
Sure. Yeah. So if you're interested in watching some fun 6-minute videos with comedy and like recipes that you would really love to make and have never seen before, check out my YouTube channel, Cook It with Marvin. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll put a link to that.
There you go.
Marvin
Boom.
makes delicious food with his super adorable daughter, and I can't cook any of it, but it always makes me hungry.
Honestly, though, you can. It's really like, we try and do it step by step, and while we cook things that sound crazy, we actually end up making food that step by step you can do. JT, you have to make the bacon ravioli. I was asking Zoe, like, what do you want to do for our next episode? Like, what do you want to make? And she was like, I want to make ravioli. It's like, really? All right, cool. What do you want to put in? She said bacon. It's like, really? Bacon and ravioli, it sounds impossible, and I've never even heard of that. So, like, I played and looked around and, like, figured out, just make a bacon pate and stuffed in homemade dough, which you don't have to do if you don't want to. And then we made, bacon ravioli with blistered tomatoes and melted leeks, and it's a beautiful balance. Or, you can just get the punch of the bacon in your mouth. But honestly, you could make it. It's really, I make it with Zoe. It's not too much.
I watched the bacon ravioli video, and I was like, God, that shit looks amazing.
It's very good.
There's leeks and tomatoes out of that shot. It would be great.
Well, by the way, if you look at Zoe's shot, she just ate the ravioli. She has your palate.
Yeah, the only thing is like she'll grow out of it, and I'll be like 70 with I'll have angina, and I'll have to give Jeff my playbook.
But actually, it's funny. I thought about you when I made it because I was like, oh my god, so JT would love this. It's really good. It's heavy because it's bacon ravioli, but I can't believe it's. You don't ever find stuff like that. Anyways, that's long-winded. I'm sorry. Yeah. So my channel is, we only have 6 videos so far, and we're making fun, weird, crazy stuff. It's exciting. You can make it home, and we try and make it funny, and it's only 6 minutes long.
Nice. That's what I definitely like. I just subscribed, man. Panseer Cod, this is the first one.
Thank you. Yeah. The other thing about the thing about the show is, so the whole Cook with Marvin came out of like having other people cook my crazy ideas to show you that anyone can do it. Because I can't right now.
Nice, man. That's awesome. Yeah, we'll put a link to that in the show description. Because even I watch cooking YouTubes and then I cook almost nothing from it, but I just get a real enjoyment from watching people cook delicious food on my giant TV.
Jake watches You Suck at Cooking, just incessantly, all over and over.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Troy McClure, and you might remember me from such films as Firecrackers, The Silent Killer.
I literally only had the 10K sports drink sign. That's the only notable cameo.
10K Thirst Quencher. That was an amazing cameo. I had all the longest yard stuff just because a lot of those people didn't have lines, but we went through who they all are. It's like 11 NFL Hall of Famers.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, I love that scene. That scene was so good. Also, it's really the only really bad moment in terms of you have a football team of only white people, and then finally it's football players who are black, and they're convicts.
And they're convicts. Of course they are. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, this movie checks all the boxes for like race relations and like gender politics and like boss employee stuff. It's just it's really smashing it out of the park.
Yeah, that was 1991.
Last thing, 5 questions. Number 1, is it okay for kids? Jeff, if so, what age?
All right, so this is the one I always take since I've got kids. There's a brief shower scene with male butts, so I don't think that's a problem for anybody. Not much violence. So there's like comedic, like hard hits, and like the dude who didn't wear pads with the Australian with the midget hands, and like he took it to the face. Smoking, drinking. The Wally, he's off the sauce. Jake asked what that was, so I had to explain that. But he's super. He was really watching it. There's steroids in the very beginning, and my daughter, who was only 3, asked why that guy was getting shots, and then the quarterback, Scott Bakula, smokes the whole time. Language, there's a couple of middle fingers, the P word, the S word, the F word, a-hole and ass and hell and stuff like that. Overall, just to cover my own ass, I would say they have to be 9 because I have a 9-year-old. In all honesty, my kids, he's around me and I curse all the time, so I let a lot of stuff go. So I'd say 11 or 12 would probably be good. That's my age. I don't know what you would give it, Marvin.
I know. I think you're 100% on. I would say typically for other people, I would say probably 11, 12. For me, I mean, I would say 9's okay. My only fear is that kids are going to watch this and never want to watch another football movie ever again.
I don't think you have to worry about that because I think they'd be so bored that they would check out pretty fast.
I actually completely agree with you.
Would this movie get made if it were pitched now? Marvin, what do you think?
Yeah, totally. It would be a way different movie, but yes, you could totally make this. I mean, it's an age-old movie. They've made Bad News Bears for adults. You can make it.
Yeah, again, Blue Chips, The Replacements, The Program.
Major League. There have been a dozen movies like this. I wish they would make more of them. I always like them.
Yeah,
Even if they made one that's only as good as this one, I would happily watch it.
What about The Replacements? Is that as bad as this one for you guys?
I don't remember The Replacements as well or as fondly as this one, but probably because I was older, so I really don't know.
I was 2000 when that came out.
I like The Replacements more. I remember watching it. Having said that, I would want to watch that again because I thought I liked this movie too.
I haven't watched The Replacements in a while.
I'm taking Scott Bakula over Keanu Reeves to quarterback my football team. I'm just saying.
What the fuck? You were...
Keanu? Canadian drama kid? I don't want that guy quarterbacking my football team. No way. Give me Scott Bakula. He smokes cigarettes. He wears Canadian tuxedos. I believed it. All right, so if this movie does get made, is it a movie or a TV show if it gets made today?
Movie. I say movie.
Movie, yeah.
Could you make this a TV show? Could you make it a Friday Night Lights? Like old quarterback comes back, program's almost been wiped off the map.
It's got a short shelf life because you're dealing with, like, they just went through this whole process and these people come in. I mean, you could do it, but I think like 3 or 4 years and they're out. And the problem is, like with Friday Night Lights, it works because at the end of the day, you just bring in a new class. But with this whole idea, this whole concept is these people come in for this first year. How will they do?
Yeah, I feel like you could make an interesting show out of this concept, but like you said, like probably maybe 3 seasons is about as far as you could stretch it because that you're going to solve that central conflict in that time frame. That's as long as you could stretch it out before people get bored.
But then they start bringing, when TV shows are like that though, then they start bringing in other conflicts, and that's when I start to not like it. Like Walking Dead, to me, didn't need to be 10 seasons.
Well, yeah, like that's when stuff starts to go off the rails. Like Lost, Walking Dead. It's like we had a great idea, and then we got popular, and we had to run it out for too long, and now we've lost the thread.
Jump the shark. Yeah.
Who plays the lead if we remake this movie?
I have 2 great ideas for this one.
I do too. I have 2.
You guys already talked about this. You didn't just come up with great ideas like right now when JP asked the question. I was left out of the loop.
We do the same questions every time, so we both had time to think about this. I'll tell you my first one. My first one is Zac Efron.
Oh,
he's 5'8".
Yeah.
He's 5'8", but he's 33, so I think he's in the right age range. So you shoot around the height, I think, because you don't need to be a great actor to carry this movie, as Scott Bakula showed us.
I don't know how tall Scott Bakula is.
Zac Efron still looks 20 is the only thing.
I'll give you my first is Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah.
Very believable, small Jewish man quarterback.
Yeah, he's got the long, weird hair, and he can play a crazy person on a football field. I give it to him. He's the lead.
I feel like he's too good of an actor for this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're not going to like my next one then, because he's Adam Driver is my second one.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Dude, you both of your casting choices are going to really push for like awards.
They're very. They do have they have a similar genre, but I like them. Off the cuff, mine is Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Nice.
And Damon Wayans is the coach.
Damon Wayans is the coach.
The other one I had is Chris Pratt, who's 42.
He could maybe play 36, possibly.
I think 42 is the new 36 because, like Marvin said, like Zac Efron's 33, but he doesn't feel like he's old enough to be in that role.
Yeah, he's still in High School Musical. I also, for a little extra, not just the lead, the Sinbad character of the black guy that's his friend, I want to be Donald Glover. And he has to be a wide receiver now.
Dude, we cannot afford these people. We're gonna have to.
We got more than 13 million now, don't we?
No. We can't get Donald Glover. I think we can get Lamorne Morris, but I don't think we can get Donald Glover with the budget. I think this movie's so easy to cast. There's a million guys who could play the Scott Bakula role.
Yeah,
for sure.
People recognized him because he was right out of Quantum Leap.
Yeah, he was in the middle of Quantum Leap. But everyone we've named would do that, and I bet we could name 10 more guys if we thought about it.
It's a fun movie to cast. I mean, it is
No black people though.
That's what I was gonna say. The problem we've been having when we go to recast is we're recasting white people. It's like we got to do better than that. Like, what's Lamorne Morris? Just give him the whole thing. I love that guy. I'm always pushing for him. I'm his number one champion.
I'll go Damon Wayans Jr. then, just to keep it.
Damon Wayans Jr. would be good in this.
Yeah, he would.
He would.
Last question: can you still watch and enjoy this movie in 2021? Not for you, Marv, because I know you hated it, but
he watched it twice.
He watched it twice. This is commitment. I totally can and totally did. I know it's terrible, but I had such a good time watching it.
I don't know if you watched it alone, but I made a whole bunch of people watch it with me. It was my whole family, and then my wife's sister's whole family, sitting in a living room watching it on a big TV, and I was laughing my ass off, and I think they were only laughing because I was laughing, but they seemed to enjoy it. So I'm going with yes.
I would like to just update what you would expect me to say by saying that, like, while I think the movie is terrible, like absolutely trash, I do want to say that, like, I went in the movie expecting like some sort of innocent like belief that it would still be okay. Having listened to all of us talk about it, I think people understand what to expect, and I think listening to this, you should totally go back and watch it because you will enjoy it for all of its illegal sexual harassment, all
the concussion protocols. Yeah.
I think it's enjoyable if you know all of it.
Yeah, you make an excellent point. We have properly contextualized it by pointing out how much horrible stuff goes on and how much really bad filmmaking happens.
Yeah, for sure. And
with that, you could take it in and just enjoy it.
Right, exactly.
Where do you find it? It's free on Amazon Prime if you're a Prime sub. It's $2.99 on YouTube.
$2.99 everywhere else, yeah.
$2.99 everywhere else. Yeah, I think that's it, man. Thanks, everyone, for listening. On our end, it's been like 5 hours, but on your end, it's going to be about an hour-ish. So, yeah. Next episode, Defending Your Life.
Ooh.
Albert Brooks classic that Jeff and I both love. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review, and go subscribe to Cook It with Marvin, which will be in our show notes.
Yeah, do it, man.
Thanks, guys. This was fun. This was really fun.
Dude, I'm so happy that you hated it because I knew that you were gonna, and I also know that Jeff likes everything. Like, he likes all the Fast and the Furious movies. So it's so great to have people who don't like stuff, because Jeff and I are like so easy to please.
Hey, JT.
Yeah.
Why don't you go bang a kangaroo?
Don't listen to them. Share this podcast with everyone. I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. Stay tuned next month for the next movie. Hasta la vista, baby.